lawmakers in Washington, D.C. and Virginia at odds over plans to move sports teams out of the Capitol. Jason Miyares is the Attorney General of the state of Virginia and joins me now here in New York City. Are these teams leaving D.C. because of crime? That's it?
Well, in my mind, that's one of the factors. Obviously, Virginia under Governor Youngkin is open for business, but the arena they're looking to move to with the bill is only 5 miles away where they currently play. But what we've seen is a very diametrically different approach to crime in D.C. than just right across the water in Virginia. If you look at the average arrest record, according to the former D.C. police chief, of someone picked up on a homicide charge in Washington, D.C., is 11 prior arrests. They have developed a criminal-first, victim-last mindset, a revolving door. And so right now, people don't feel comfortable going to the district. And tragically, D.C.'s crime problem is becoming Virginia's crime problem because of the number of commuters. But it's hurting our businesses. It's hurting our restaurant scene in Washington, D.C. People are fleeing. This is our nation's capital. And what is happening, people are afraid to go visit our nation's capital because of crime. They're afraid to spend their entertainment dollars. They're going to go spend it where they feel safe.
The basic problem is Soros-backed district attorneys, isn't it? I don't know what they've got in D.C., but they've got a Soros-backed guy in Oakland, California, and that's a disaster.
Right. In D.C., they have a U.S. attorney that's not prosecuting entire categories of crime, but you're seeing this around the country with a lot of these left-wing social justice prosecutors. The bottom line is roughly 3 to 5% of felons commit over 50% of the violent crime. In Virginia, Governor Youngkin and I launched Operation Ceasefire to focus on these violent repeat offenders. Crime goes down. If you want to lower crime, you have to go over the small subset of violent repeat offenders. That seems like common sense. Common sense is not very common these days with these social justice prosecutors that really have this criminal first, victim last, catch and release mindset where they view that the defendant, the criminal defendant, is the one that's actually the victim. And your first role as a public official in many ways is keep your citizens safe. These prosecutors are failing at their jobs.
Are guns a part of the problem as well?
Well, if you look at the trend line between 1992 and 2018, overall crime, including gun violence in America, dropped almost every year between 1992 and 2018, while overall gun ownership in America actually dramatically increased. What was the change? More gun ownership, lower gun violence. Between 1992 and 2018, you had truth in sentencing. You had pro-abolition. You had a lot of common sense policy that went after this small subset of repeat violent offenders. That is the proven method to lower crime. If you want to lower crime, go after repeat violent offenders and you get them off the street. But when you have an average arrest record of 11 prior arrests before you get picked up on a homicide charge, there is something irretrievably broken. And so in 2001, the average arrest record of someone he picked up on a homicide charge in Washington, D.C. was 5 prior arrests. So you could see the dramatic change between 2001 and now today in Washington, D.C. And you've seen this all around the country, these violent repeat offenders that right now, so many of these prosecutors, they view themselves more as social workers than prosecutors.
You can do something about it in the state of Virginia, but there's not much you can do about it in Washington, D.C., is there?
Well, we're limited, and that's why I have this soapbox, and I'm begging these local officials not to support these D.C. crime bills. We've had, tragically, we've had Democratic members of Congress from Virginia that have voted for some of these measures that have been put forth that make it easier to have this catch and release program, and it's really tragic. What we're doing in Virginia with Operation Ceasefire and others, we're going after these repeat violent offenders. Some of our, when we came in office, Richmond, Portsmouth, Norfolk, we've seen great results going after this small subset of repeat violent offenders. Guess what? Crime is down when you have prosecutors that go after these repeat offenders.
We're going to leave it right there. That's a good place to end it, I think.
Great to be
Jason Miyares, Virginia Attorney General. Thank you.
Great to be with you.
Appreciate it.